You know those warning signs and symbols you see at work? Ever really think about them? Well, they're not just random rules somebody made up. They're actually part of this huge, incredibly smart system that's designed to keep every single one of us safe. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on these workplace safety protocols and learn about the universal language that protects millions of people every single day. Let's start cracking the code.
So let's jump right in. Take a look at these. I bet you've seen them before, right? Maybe on the back of a truck or a container tucked away in a supply closet. And you probably get the general vibe. Danger, poison, be careful. But what are they actually telling you? Turns out they're way more specific and a lot more important than you might think.
And that right there is the whole point. These little pictures, these pictograms, are basically international words. They're part of a global system built to slice right through any language barrier and scream, "Hey, pay attention, this could seriously hurt you," in a way that anyone anywhere can get in a split second. It's a language of survival.
All right, so here's the game plan for our journey today. We're going to start by decoding chemical dangers, then move into biological and physical threats. After that, we'll talk about the incredible power of prevention, check out the rules for really hazardous environments, and wrap up with a support system that's got your back for life.
Okay, first up, chemicals. It doesn't matter if you work in a high-tech lab, a regular office, or out on a construction site. Understanding these warnings is absolutely fundamental to staying safe. So let's learn how to read the signs.
The whole system that makes this universal language work is called the GHS, or the Globally Harmonized System. The easiest way to think about it is like a grammar book for chemical safety. It lays down a consistent set of rules for how to classify hazards and what has to be on a label, so that a warning in Spain means the exact same thing as a warning in Japan.
So, if the GHS is the grammar book, then the Safety Data Sheet, or SDS, is the dictionary for one specific chemical. It's this super detailed document that tells you literally everything you need to know: what the chemical is, what the dangers are, what you do if you spill it, and how to handle it safely.
And here's the critical part. These documents are not optional, and they can't be hidden away in some locked office. The law says the manufacturer has to provide them, and they have to be accessible to every single employee. That standard format means you can find crucial info, like first aid measures, super fast, no matter which SDS you grab. Accessibility isn't an afterthought. It's baked right into the core of the system.
All right, so we're moving on from just understanding labels to actually reacting to immediate dangers. We're shifting gears from chemicals to things like blood-borne pathogens and fire, situations where a fast, correct response means everything.
This brings us to a really core concept called universal precautions. It's such a simple but brilliant idea. Basically, you can't tell if blood or other bodily fluids are infectious just by looking at them. So the only way to be safe is to treat all of them as if they are. It's a rule that takes all the guesswork out of the equation and just puts protection first. Okay, let's switch scenarios. A fire breaks out, small but growing. There's a fire extinguisher on the wall. Do you actually know what to do with it? It's one of those things that can help you escape, but only if you know the right technique. Knowing what to do can be the difference between a small story and a huge tragedy.
And thankfully, there's a super simple acronym to help you remember: PASS. First, you pull the pin. That breaks the little plastic seal. Then you aim low. And this is important, you aim at the base of the fire, where the fuel is, not up at the flames. Next, you squeeze the handle to release the good stuff. And finally, you sweep from side to side, covering the whole area until the fire's out. PASS. Simple, effective, and really easy to recall when things get stressful.
So we've talked about reading the warnings and reacting in emergencies. But you know what's even better? Preventing those incidents from ever happening in the first place. This part is all about you, your personal power, and your role in making the workplace safer for everyone.
Let me ask you a question. When something unsafe happens, who's supposed to report it? Is it the supervisor's job? The safety manager? The person it happened to? This question really gets to the very heart of what a company's safety culture is all about.
The answer is everyone. And I really do mean everyone. It doesn't matter if you're the CEO or the intern who just started yesterday. If you see something, you say something. This idea of shared responsibility is the absolute bedrock of any good safety program. It's not one person's job, it's everybody's duty.
Now, to know what to report, it helps to see how these things are categorized. An unsafe condition is a hazard just waiting to cause trouble, like that wobbly load on the forklift. An unsafe act is a choice someone makes that creates risk, like walking under that load. And a near miss, that's when you get incredibly lucky. The load falls, but nobody gets hurt. Reporting all three is so important because a near miss is basically a free lesson on how to prevent a real accident tomorrow.
This leads us to one of the most powerful concepts in all of workplace safety: stop work authority. This means that any employee, at any level, has not just the right, but the responsibility to call a timeout on a job if they feel something is unsafe. And, this is key, they can do it without any fear of getting in trouble. It's more than a rule, it's a huge cultural statement about what a company truly values. And this quote just captures the whole philosophy perfectly. No project, no deadline, no task is more important than a person's health. It is always, always better to hit pause and fix a problem than to just push through and risk a catastrophe. This is what a real culture of safety looks like in action. Okay, let's level up and move into some of the most specialized, high-stakes situations out there. These are environments where the risks are so serious that they require really strict, formal procedures to make sure everyone goes home safe at the end of the day.
First on our list is lockout/tagout, or LOTO for short. This is a critical procedure that's used when someone's doing maintenance on machinery. It's a physical system of locks and tags that makes sure a piece of equipment is totally de-energized and literally cannot be turned on by accident while someone is working on it. It physically stops dangerous energy, whether it's electrical, mechanical, or something else, from being released.
Now, if you're not the one trained to do LOTO, your job is incredibly simple but absolutely vital. You've got 3 rules. 1. Recognize it. See the lock, see the tag. 2. Do not, under any circumstances, try to start or operate that machine. And 3. Never, ever, ever remove someone else's lock or tag. Only the person who put it on can take it off. Respecting that lock is literally respecting a coworker's life. Next up, confined spaces. We're talking about places like storage tanks, vaults, or deep pits. They have 3 things in common. They're big enough for a person to get into, they have limited or tricky ways to get in and out, and they're just not designed for people to hang out in. They can have all sorts of hidden dangers, like toxic gases or a lack of oxygen, which is why getting into one is so strictly controlled. And for our final section, let's zoom all the way out. Because safety isn't just about preventing accidents in the moment, it's also about this incredible system of support and care that looks after an employee's health for the long haul, sometimes for decades after a potential exposure.
Okay, get a load of this, because this fact is pretty wild. If you have a medical record that's related to an exposure at work, that record has to be kept for your entire career, plus another 30 years after you leave. 30 years! That's not just some random number. It's a profound statement about the commitment to your long-term health, because it recognizes that some work-related illnesses can take decades to show up. It's a system designed to protect you for life.
So after all of this, from the universal language on a chemical bottle, to the personal power of stop work authority, to medical records that last for 30+ years, it kind of leads us to one final big question. Is safety just about following rules and ticking boxes on a checklist? Or is it something much deeper? A shared belief, a collective responsibility, a culture that truly puts people first always? I think the answer is pretty clear.